One man's words shook the world. "I'll give you 1 trillion one hand over your control." It sounded like a business deal, but it was really a declaration of power. A challenge that revealed the true nature of the global tech war. When the U.S. government announced massive subsidies to attract chip manufacturing back home, the world cheered. But behind that sweet promise hid a bitter poison: a demand for control. In exchange for billions of dollars in support, Washington wanted more than factories. It wanted influence over management, even a stake in the companies themselves. It wasn't just about economics. It was about sovereignty, technological sovereignty. For Samsung, this was a red line. Instead of confronting the U.S. head-on, the Korean giant decided to fight in its own language. The language of technology and markets. And it unveiled 3 cards. 3 silent, strategic, and devastating counter-moves. The first card: price, the king of bottlenecks. Samsung reminded the world who controls the pulse of the AI era. HBM and DDR5 memory chips, the beating heart of artificial intelligence, cannot flow without Samsung. No Samsung, no AI. Quietly, Samsung reshuffled its production lines toward high-value products and adjusted its prices. This wasn't a simple price hike. It was a message: if we move the price, the cost of your AI revolution will skyrocket. It was a warning to Washington. The value of technology is not decided by subsidies, it's decided by the market. In one stroke, Samsung turned political pressure into market logic. A master move worthy of a chess grandmaster. The second card: technology, the final 1% that money can't buy. In the sub-3 nanometer realm, success isn't about expensive EUV machines. It's about decades of accumulated data, defect control, and microscopic perfection. The final 1% that makes the difference between success and failure. That last 1% is invisible. And it's untouchable. That's why Washington wanted Samsung's process data. Not the machines, but the know-how. But Samsung stood firm. Factories can be built, but the soul cannot be sold. It was a statement of principle and of pride. Technology sovereignty is not a negotiation. It's a line that cannot be crossed. The third card: trust, the power of keeping promises. Building a new fab in America is no small task. It's filled with risks, uncertainty, and years of construction. But Samsung already has something money can't buy: a global reputation for reliability. For decades, Samsung has delivered chips on time, in full, and in spec. That track record makes it the most trusted partner for the world's tech giants. While governments argued about subsidies, companies like Google, Microsoft, and Nvidia needed chips now. And they trusted only one name to deliver them: Samsung. Leveraging that trust, Samsung renegotiated its long-term contracts on more favorable terms, turning political pressure into business advantage. These 3 cards: price, technology, and trust weren't acts of resistance. They were acts of strategy. A global demonstration that true power doesn't come from politics. It comes from competence. This episode was more than a clash between a company and a government. It was a turning point in the global balance of technology. It showed that when governments overreach, they destabilize the very supply chains they seek to protect. And it reminded the world that technological sovereignty isn't granted by nations. It's earned by companies with discipline, innovation, and integrity. Samsung's message was crystal clear. The real ruler of technology isn't money. It's mastery. With calm precision, Samsung countered political pressure with market power, replaced threats with trust, and chose long-term strength over short-term gain. That decision has already become a precedent. A playbook for every company navigating the new era of global tech warfare. Because in the end, the question isn't who gets the subsidies. It's who controls the future. And Samsung, once again, has shown the world the answer.